what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you, and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. And when your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now. What?
And welcome to the At Odds Show. I'm Brian.
And I'm Nate.
And I'm going to say it's January 16th, very, very cold January, where we are, 2014.
Yeah.
We're what?
No, let's start over.
Start over.
No.
Well, welcome to the At Odds Show. This is Brian.
Okay, yeah. It's January 23rd.
It is?
Yeah.
How did I get that screwed up again? Seems like
It's just because it's so cold. It's
I
so
do that
cold.
A lot. I'm going to do that the 23rd. Anyways, we're in the back room of the Cash and Open Carry Bar and Studio in what cold country, Nate?
Ethiopia.
It's freezing there.
Ethiopia, where it turns out plumbing doesn't work so well.
No, we had
in
some
Ethiopia.
plumbing issues.
The hole in the ground was plugged.
Yes. That's derogatory. Not everybody in Ethiopia has a hole in the ground to poop.
No, what was it? What was it? Barbara Streisand or who? Sally Struthers? Who was it on South Park? You see that episode?
Oh, it's Sally.
She was over there.
Well,
she was huge. She
they're
filled
both
up an entire room.
It was Sally
She was huge, and
Struthers.
she was
They were making fun because she does the starving children. She does the charity for starving children, help the starving children.
Right.
Yet she's quite large.
Yeah,
And so they make fun of her, which is
doesn't
sad.
mean anything. I mean,
They have done Barbara Streisand too,
Okay,
but
yeah.
she's that's not for them.
Anyway, it is 9 p.m. Eastern time.
We are a little bit later than normal, but
sorry
we
about
are
that.
live, and if you're hanging in there, you can call us at 248-455-ODDS. That's 248-455-6336.
Yes. No.
Can we,
Do you do this on purpose every damn week?
248-455-6337. What did I say?
I'm not even going to repeat what you said because you'll confuse people more than you already do. Every damn week that we do this show. And you're not even doing it from memory like I do. It's written right there. And it's actually the biggest thing on the page is the phone number. And it's right there.
I'm not understanding your point.
Yeah, I know you're not. 248-455-6337. Give us a call.
What did I say? 248
It doesn't matter what you said.
6337.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Did I say 673?
No, you didn't.
What did I get close?
You said 1-800 something. I don't know what you said. All right, so we have good news, and you've all heard this already. Obama says there's no place for spying on American citizens, and that the NSA, everything they've ever done is wrong. He's going to completely wipe it out. He's going to close down the data center in Utah. All of that.
He's not going to do any of those things.
Oh, but he said he was going to reform the way they spy on citizens, so he's certainly doing that.
If they approve it,
And
or they might not.
He's still. Are they listening to us?
No, they specifically said we're no longer listening to the At Odds Show, but not for security reasons. It's because we just
Pure boredom.
We suck.
Yeah, pure boredom.
So
we thought we had something.
Yep.
And then we did. No, you guys didn't give us any information.
They're not listening to our
So
show.
that's all right. That's okay. I don't mind necessarily if the NSA listens.
The thing, on principle I do. The thing is,
what if it's break time, or they're on their lunch hour?
It
and they're
seems
listening?
that everybody who listened to that speech kind of went, "Huh? Nothing's changed. There's no accountability.
Yep.
It's more the same." I loved how he went into the history of surveillance. Oh yeah, they used to use balloons during the Civil War to surveil a battlefield.
Yep.
With a enemy.
Yep.
Yeah,
but those were American. But they were American citizens,
we had Native American code talkers that were. We weren't spying on the Native Americans. They were actually using their language as a code between allies. So
No,
I don't know how that got in there.
I think you're wrong. I think he's right.
I think he went back to the Stone Age man, Cro-Magnon, pounding on drums,
Yeah.
and the other caves listening to him. He got antelope. He just made 32 new clubs. we must have arms race. Ugh, go out and make more clubs. I have new weapon. It has string on piece of twig. We shoot things. I don't like that. Not as good as club.
You're actually. The point stands. I think that's completely legitimate. But the way that Obama has been handling it is, Iran, they're building a nuclear force. So we should probably cut our number of nukes in half and then try to cut it some more and then maybe some more. And we'll just see how weak we can make the military. So it's like a reverse arm or inverse. What's the thing? Inversely
proportional?
It's not, but yeah,
I know what you're saying. No, it's inversely.
Mostly
as their arms increase, ours decreases.
Yeah. I just don't know if it's proportional.
Well,
Anyway,
I don't know if it's proportional. It doesn't
anyway,
have to
he
be
annoys
necessarily.
me. Let's not talk about him anymore.
Anyways, nothing's going to change. They're still going to spy on you, and they have been with balloons now for 150 years.
Except now the balloons have rockets,
and
they will get you when you're
they
sitting in a coffee shop.
Are they nuclear?
No,
rockets?
they're not nuclear.
Oh, I don't like that.
We can't be trusted with nukes or guns. And the types of guns that we can't be carried with or can't be trusted with,
Yes.
the most,
Yes. I know.
are ghost guns.
Ghost guns. I don't like ghost guns. They're scary.
Yeah, the 30 magazine clip in half a second. That's what's scary. This guy in California.
He's a senator from California.
He's a California state senator, Kevin DeLeon.
with a great wig. He has a great toupee.
It's like Sean Hannity hair.
Yeah,
is
I mean,
what he
it's
has.
huge. It's fluffy and puffy and
that is
slides
nice
around
stuff,
on his
but
head.
I think we should probably listen to what he said the other day. He was introducing some bill that would require all homemade firearms or anything that they
went
think.
on for a half an hour.
Oh, I know
all
he did, but
kinds
it was
of crap.
about SB 808. I
Yeah,
think
there's a
is
bill
what
there.
it was that it would require all of these homemade guns
to be registered in background check.
no matter what type of gun, no matter when they were made, none of this stuff. And it's because if you make a gun at home, you can walk through a metal detector with it undetected.
He said that many times. These are undetectable. We cannot see these guns anywhere at any time. Hence
They're
the moniker Ghost Guns.
Which is funny, right? Because who that is familiar with firearms at all has heard the term ghost guns before?
Raise your hands. Nobody. We have about 60 people
And they
in the
went
studio.
on. They posted
all gun owners. Nobody raised their hand.
California Democrats. They posted this video, and they acted like ghost guns because they had to, because he used it like it was a normal term that everybody used. They just have this paragraph of these ghost guns and everything, and
when in fact he just coined it.
he did. He really did.
What sounds scary, Bill? I don't know. Dick, let's come up with something scary. We can call them zombie guns. No, that's too cool. They'll love that. No, zombies are cool.
Ghosts are scary.
Ghosts are scary. Let's call it a ghost gun.
It's horrible.
It makes my sphincter tighten
There
up.
we go.
This is a ghost gun.
Oh, it is. I see it. No, I don't.
No, I don't.
This right here has ability with a 30 caliber clip to disperse with 30 bullets within half a second.
Holy cow!
30 magazine
How
clip
can-
in half a second.
You talk.
And when I was listening to that, I was watching the cops in the background, and they didn't flinch. How could they keep from not
You know how they
laughing or
could? It's
something?
because they know that every day of their lives they are out on the beat.
You know how
and
many
they
ghost
are
guns they
faced.
see out on the patrol?
Zero.
every day?
That's
Zero,
the
because
problem. They're
ghost guns.
undetectable.
They're undetectable.
Now I'll tell you, one of the
Cannot
most
see them.
plastic guns that I know of. It was 3D printed. The Liberator had a metal piece. It had a metal firing pin. Even the most plastic gun I know of still had metal in it. This gun he's holding up was mostly metal.
And well, there was some plastic parts.
Oh, jeez.
But what I liked
He
when
showed the
engine.
the engine. It was like an 80%. He kept calling it a lower receiver, which it wasn't. It wasn't even milled yet.
No, it was just a block of aluminum.
Are you kidding me?
Anybody, any fifth grader can take this and turn it into a killing machine, into a ghost gun. and fire 30-round clips in half a second.
And I saw a response to that.
The thing is, people believe that. God.
I saw a response to that. It was a police officer, firearms expert, whatever. He challenged this guy, which I wish he would follow through with. He said, "You said anybody can take that lower receiver and make an AR-15 with it. Show us."
Well,
go ahead.
There was a police officer who was a firearm instructor and a gunsmith who wrote an open letter to him.
Oh, is that what he was?
Yeah.
When I said police officer or firearms expert, is that?
I don't listen to you.
Same guy?
It was the same guy. No, it could have been his brother.
This guy does have nice hair. I have to tell you.
Stop looking at his picture there. I won't say it.
This happens.
He kind of looks
all the time.
He looks like
remember?
I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. He looks like a guy that would get extra screening at an airport.
No. Never mind.
Yeah.
Look, no. This happens all the time. Okay, we have from California. Go figure.
Anything under your wig there? Nothing.
Senator
okay.
Dianne Feinstein. She did the same thing. She came out and she's like, "Oh, you know those collapsible sliding stocks that make it full auto."
Right.
These Democrats, left wing, anti-gun morons. They come out time after time, prove they know absolutely nothing about
and they
guns.
Just spew out garbage.
And the media picks it up, and the uneducated among us, they just believe it because they don't know any better.
Unfortunately, a large percentage of the population.
It was enough to reelect Barack Obama and Dianne Feinstein. And apparently Kevin DeLeon.
Oh.
Really, talk to your friends that don't know anything about firearms. Talk to them about firearms. Show them that you do not have a 30 magazine clip.
Let me tell you the problem I had. I ordered a ghost gun, and they claimed that they mailed it out a month ago.
Okay.
And I did get a package, but there was nothing in it.
Oh, it was. It was in there.
You think that's it?
Yeah, that was it. It's a ghost gun.
I threw it in the dumpster.
It's undetected.
I can't find it.
That's a felony, you know.
Throwing out a ghost gun?
What if a kid picks it up?
In the dumpster?
It wasn't registered. There's probably some youngster out there right now carrying your ghost gun around. He doesn't even know it.
You know, to take care of this situation, who am I going to call?
Just don't cross the streams when you're using a ghost gun.
Do not cross the streams.
All right, I think we've touched on enough memes.
Yeah. Hang in there. You're having a bad day. We had some interesting talks around the lunch table when we were smoking marijuana and having a good time. No, that's not true. But Illinois wants to pass this law about patients who want to qualify for medical marijuana. Now, I didn't know Illinois had a medical marijuana law.
Doesn't everybody have one now?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's a cool thing to do.
No, but the thing is, they were going to require. Now, this just irks me. They're going to require you, if you want to get a medical marijuana card, that's fine, but we will have to fingerprint you and do a background check. Oh, and we want you to pay $150 a year to have your card.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, you can't own any firearms.
Okay, so is that the list? Is that it?
That's it. That's enough.
A couple things here. One, on the at the root of this, medical marijuana cards, it's a farce. That's ridiculous. Come on. Secondly,
in your opinion.
Secondly, no, it is. It's as bad as a CPO. Why do you need to have a card to get something that may not help you?
I see where you're going there.
Now,
okay.
Secondly,
all right.
The people that push for medical marijuana cards. Now, let's take the libertarians. They're and push them off to the side. The liberals, the ones that moved into Colorado to get that, they're generally anti-gun. They generally push for things.
No, they would agree with this 100%.
They generally push for things. No, they wouldn't.
Why?
They would agree with it 100% if you're talking about a license to carry a firearm, but not marijuana because it's everybody's right. It's a natural right to smoke marijuana.
So they would disagree with half of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Or all of it. What do you mean half of it? Which half?
Well, they would want you to give up your gun rights.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Did you forget that part?
That's a win. Yeah, I forgot that part. That's not important to me.
That's the reason I brought it up, for
I
God's
know
sake.
It was. No, but look, they push for background checks. They push for fingerprints. They push for registration. There you go.
That's like saying now, we're sorry you have cancer, Mr. Jones, but in order for you to get these cancer drugs, You're going to have to pass a background test, and you're going to have to pay a fee to the government in order to get these.
I have a real question.
Medication.
What are they looking for in this background check?
I have no idea.
Now, because if you want to get a firearm and you had a felony
I just don't
for
understand
possessing marijuana,
right.
you won't get your firearm. But what are they looking for marijuana? Like, oh, you were caught possession of marijuana. You cannot have this marijuana because you previously possessed marijuana. I don't get it.
Oops.
Let's take a quick break, though.
No, okay.
All right. At oddshow.com.
Should we tell them our guest coming up soon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we should. Yeah.
We'll do that after the break.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-1892 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-1892 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-1892. That's 1-800-516-1892. Again, 1-800-516-1892.
Are you frustrated with your current job, not making the type of money that you know you are worth? Is it time for a change? Start earning money working from home with Autopilot Marketing. Go to income28.com now. That's income, the number 28.com. Take our free video tour today and start earning money as early as next week. Go to income28.com. That's income, the number 28.com.
Honestly, I don't feel great about my mom living alone. She's growing older and weaker every day. That's reality when you're in your 70s, but remaining independent is important to her, and I get that. That's why I chose Medical Guardian to ensure her safety. If she falls and can't reach the phone, if there's a fire, or if someone breaks in, she presses one button, help comes rushing, and I am contacted. Accidents and emergencies really do happen. I refuse to risk her safety, and I feel good about choosing Medical Guardian. After all, she's my mom.
Protect your parent and give yourself peace of mind. Call 800-325-1089 for a free brochure. Medical Guardian has no activation fees, equipment costs, or long-term contracts. Be one of the first 50 callers to find out how you can get a free month of service. That's Medical Guardian at 800-325-1089. Ask how you can get a free month of service. 800-325-1089. That's 800-325-1089.
If y'all like to listen to the Ad Odd Show with Nate and Brian, then come on down in my basement and have a popsicle.
No,
I don't think I want to have a popsicle with him. I'm not his type, though. I'm not 6.
Okay, that's weird. That's really weird. Let's never use that one again. I hadn't
thought of that?
No, that's creepy.
Okay.
Let's scratch that one from the list.
Right. Take it off, Bill. All right.
Who's Bill?
He's our producer.
What? Oh, hey.
You see him standing there?
No, I didn't. Why is he standing?
Smoking a marijuana
Really
cigarette.
bad at
He's
it.
got a gun.
We are looking for a new producer, if anybody's interested. So,
the pay isn't great, but the benefits are wonderful. So, anyways, Illinois is it's crap. I mean, it would be like saying, all right, you're now 21 and you can drink alcohol, so you can't own a gun. I mean, the idea is they're taking it right from the federal law that says if you're a drug user, you can't possess firearms. But
Obama decided.
Yes, but didn't they bust a bunch of people in Colorado?
Well, yeah, but now he decided that it doesn't make sense to waste money. Now, come on enforcing laws that state voters.
Wait a minute, a social democrat said something about wasting money?
Okay, so that the voters in a state have decided that they didn't want. So even though the federal law says marijuana is illegal, the people of the state voted to legalize marijuana. So who is the federal government to say that that's not the case? Now, when we talk about
the state rights, I agree with that.
Oh, okay. So when we talk about Defense of Marriage Act or something like that, states voted, California, that gay marriage was illegal. The federal government, did Obama at that point say, the voters voted, who are we to step in? No, they said, those voters are wrong, the bigots. This is kind of a double standard here. It's more
but we could argue that with everything. We can argue that with all of the Bill of Rights.
What if
they're first applied to the federal government, not the states? States could have incorporated a state religion. They could ban firearms. They could have slaves and all those things. The federal government, after the Civil War, expanded their power over the states, and they incorporated those Bills of Rights.
Yeah, I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, my question is, there are some authority that the federal government does exert over the states, and there are some things they don't.
Of course there is.
So one of the questions you got asked is legalizing marijuana one of those areas?
Who is Obama and Eric Holder to decide that?
No, they aren't. No, it would be Congress.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah, I'm just saying, there's a double standard. Clear double standard. Well, it doesn't matter which side of either of those issues you're on.
There always will be double standards.
So I guess we just sit down and shut up and be okay with it.
No, I think we should talk about it.
Politicians always lie, so what are we going to do about it?
No, that's why we do this show.
It's fine.
We're trying to get people to wake up and realize
it'll just always happen.
Realize that there's ghost guns out there. And there's people out there smoking marijuana.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour.
Maybe, if he's hanging in there.
If he didn't
He's got to be very patient.
He is patient.
He's a good guy. You want me to talk about him a little bit?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Go ahead.
Oh, Stephen Dulan. He's an attorney at law.
All right, that's enough. Now go ahead.
Okay. He is a firearms instructor. He's a Army veteran. He's a Cooley Law School instructor, teacher, professor. I'm not sure what his status, but he teaches classes on constitutional law and firearms law.
Hanging out by the
Second
Amendment
smoking
stuff.
A cigarette. Yeah, mostly, and he chases ambulances and hands out business cards. No, he's a good guy, and been
on the show before.
He's been on our show. He's one of our earliest guests when we started the show. He's been on national. He's been on national shows. Pierce Morgan and. I don't know, NBC, CBS, SBC, CBS, SNBC.
He was on SBC really?
Before.
I'm going to ask him about Pierce Morgan.
He was going to be on The Blaze. I don't know if he ever got contacted back.
I don't know.
It was about this topic that we might discuss a little bit, which is representing the open carry guy in Grand Rapids. That's Grand Rapids, Michigan. Was harassed by the police.
Assaulted,
gunpoint, handcuffed, detained, berated.
Illegally.
For nothing more than walking down the street open carrying, which Grand Rapids Police Department has known for years because I talked to him in 2007 about it. Mm-hmm. Steve's handling this case, and he is suing them for $1 billion. No, not really $1 billion.
It's
a lot of money.
I was going to hire him. Because, we'll talk about him.
Yeah, we'll talk about him when he comes on. That should be in a little bit. If he's still around. I don't know. He might have hung up.
So I got in this discussion a bit ago about victimless crimes and whether...
And police brutality and enforcing those?
And whether that should actually be an oxymoron, victimless crime. Because if it's victimless, it should not be a crime. I mean, really. Something like jaywalking. And then I got the comment of, well... The person who hits the person jaywalking and then gets sued is the victim. Well, no.
No, you are responsible for what's in front of your car, and I get a
and also responsible for walking in front of a car.
Right. So
there's some
both at fault.
responsibility.
Yeah,
here.
there's that. There's that no fault.
Anyway,
this was in New York. Apparently, it was an 84-year-old
where walking has now been banned. Actually,
only on the sidewalks.
It's banned on the sidewalks. You must be walking in the street.
No, not in the street. You have to walk slightly suspended above the sidewalk.
All right.
So it's difficult. Not everybody can do that.
Which is why they ban large sodas, because it weighs you down.
Exactly. Because we're here to help you. 84-year-old man, Asian. Might be Chinese, I'm not sure.
Irrelevant.
Wong is his name.
Relevant again.
Well, it is relevant because, as we know, two rights don't make a Wong. Anyways.
Turns out both of his parents were rights.
Yes.
They did. They did actually make a Wong.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wong right?
WR.
Oh, wrong right.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Anyways, this poor guy, he's walking across the street in New York, and he does a little jaywalking, and a cop goes, hey, you, hey, it's against the law over it. He starts yelling at the guy and talking to him, and this 84-year-old Asian man doesn't really speak good English.
And
me no speaky good English at all.
Also, he's 84.
So he's 84, and the cop sort of grabs him, and the guy doesn't really understand what's going on and kind of pushes back and resists, and that was the trigger. Bam!
Not really bam. What kind of bam?
It was bam.
Not the kind of bam that I was thinking when you said bam.
Oh, not bam bam like a gun.
Right.
But bam bam with a fist and a...
Like bam bam.
Yeah.
Bam bam. Bam bam.
So then they jumped the guy, and they smacked him around, threw him against the wall, arrested him for jaywalking, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental administration.
Who hasn't been charged with that?
Orderly conduct.
Obstructing governmental administration.
What
Who
is
hasn't
that?
Been?
What is
don't
that?
know.
Did they go up to the secretary?
The secretary.
They
He
said,
shuffled their papers. He shuffled their papers and tipped the file cabinet over.
You got that little towel, chicken?
Okay.
I don't know.
That was.
Oh yeah, that was racist. Anyways. So they knocked this guy around, but the thing is they did it for his safety, because if you jaywalk, you can get hurt and get a bloody face.
Right, and they wouldn't want that.
So the police gave him a bloody face for his own safety, and he didn't understand that. Not only that, apparently they took him downtown and kept him for several hours, took his glasses away because he couldn't see very well, and his son said, listen, great, you're beating up an 84-year-old man for jaywalking, and then he'll face charges for all these charges. He doesn't understand what's going on, and I think the son's an attorney, although I'm not sure.
I hope so.
So we'll see what happens.
I hope he's a jaywalking attorney.
But you will respect my authority.
Now, what is really hard is finding an attorney that specializes in obstructing governmental administration cases. It's
funny because Steve Dulan, that's on his business card.
It is on his business card.
Obstructing governmental administration charges. I'm your
Call
man.
us. DUIs? No, we don't deal with that.
No.
Obstructing administration.
And then the generic disorderly conduct
that everybody that's charged with anything ever gets
is charged. That's a throwaway. Obstructing justice usually is thrown in there as well. Anyways, this is crap. You don't beat up old men because they're jaywalking, even if they resist. You wanna beat up the little punks that can give you a little bit of a challenge. You want to get a young, wiry, meth strung out, paint huffing little punk. Those are the ones you want to wrestle around in the ground with, because that's more fun. An 84-year-old man, that's nothing.
Were they stopping him because he was jaywalking, or were they just implementing stop and frisk?
No, it was jaywalking.
Are you sure?
He actually committed that crime.
Well, then I don't.
Why are we talking about it? What?
Book him. Why are we talking about it?
Book him, Dano.
It's horrible.
I don't know. I guess because they want to protect your safety by having jaywalking, so they beat you up to protect you. I guess that was my only point.
I don't. I get like smoking marijuana in your house, jaywalking
in your house.
What else? What else is there that you
having
can't
a
do?
Firearm in your house?
Drinking raw milk in your house.
Oh well. Oh, you want to go that way?
All of these victimless crimes.
Listen, I can't have chickens in my yard. I want to have chickens to have eggs, and because they're damn cute.
They are cute, but we're going to take a break. Hopefully we'll be back with Steve Dulan.
I doubt it.
248-455-6337 @oddshow.com, facebook.com/@oddshow.
Like us on At Odds.
We'll be right back. Bye.
Red State Talk Radio.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom66.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom66.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom66.com. Go to freedom66.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom66.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-1892 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-1892 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-1892. That's 1-800-516-1892. Again, 1-800-516-1892.
Honestly, I don't feel great about my mom living alone. She's growing older and weaker every day. That's reality when you're in your 70s, but remaining independent is important to her, and I get that. That's why I chose Medical Guardian to ensure her safety. If she falls and can't reach the phone, if there's a fire, or if someone breaks in, she presses one button, help comes rushing, and I am contacted. Accidents and emergencies really do happen. I refuse to risk her safety, and I feel good about choosing Medical Guardian. After all, she's my mom.
Protect your parent and give yourself peace of mind. Call 800-325-1089 for a free brochure. Medical Guardian has no activation fees, equipment costs, or long-term contracts. Be one of the first 50 callers to find out how you can get a free month of service. That's Medical Guardian at 800-325-1089. Ask how you can get a free month of service. 800-325-1089. That's 800-325-1089.
And we're back. You're listening to At Odds. I'm Brian.
And I am Nate.
We're fortunate. We do have Steve on the line. He didn't hang up or say that he had more important things to do, which is sad on his part.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But again, we'll probably discuss a little bit about the case in Grand Rapids. We'll talk about gun rights in general, a little bit about open carry, concealed carry, anything we want. We're kind of just free-balling it here. If you have any questions, you can call us at what, Nate?
248-455-6337.
Are you sure that's right?
No, I'm sure that's right.
All right. Well, Steve's an accomplished attorney. He's a Civil War veteran. No, he's not quite that old. He is a veteran, and he teaches law classes at Cooley Law School as well as his private practice. We'd like to welcome Steve at Odds.
Steve, how you doing?
Thanks, guys. Well, I'm doing well, and I'm really glad to be here.
Let's just say, start off real quick, and we already told our audience that you would be more than happy to take this case, but Brian was charged with obstructing governmental administration. Is that something you could handle for him?
Yeah, that I think you're referring to that case out in New York, and that's, every state has its own phraseology in terms of the statutes, and that would be analogous to disobeying a lawful order of a police officer.
Now, what if that person doesn't speak English and you order him to do something? Would he be culpable?
Well, there's a part of most crimes. I'm not sure what level crime that is in New York, but for most crimes there is a part called the mens rea, which is Latin for a guilty mind, and it's a basic requirement that you mean to do the action that amounts to the crime. If nothing else, there's always basic due process you can fall back on under the 14th Amendment. And the Bill of Rights, which says that there has to be some reasonableness in criminal charges. So I'm not sure they're going to have an easy time convicting if you're dealing with a person who literally doesn't speak the language. But because we're talking about reasonableness, if it was obvious even to somebody who doesn't speak English that the officer was trying to order the defendant to stop, there are sort of physical manifestations of an order and a tone that might be enough. So it's not a clear-cut case.
It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. And his son might be an attorney, so he might not need your help. But we'll see.
Fair enough.
I don't know if he's licensed for New York. I don't know.
I'm not actually.
Okay.
Just Michigan and Colorado.
Good.
Well, speaking of that, let's get to the case that you're helping make big news here. The case in Grand Rapids, gentleman open carrying, detained by the police.
Mr. Deffert.
Yeah, ordered to the ground at gunpoint, firearm taken, threatened.
And the reasonable suspicion was that he seemed to be talking to himself.
Yes. Is it illegal to talk to yourself when you're walking down the street?
It is not unlawful to talk or sing to oneself.
Huh.
In fact, this hasn't come up yet in the case, but just as a coincidence, I read a study not that long ago that mentioned the fact that those of us who do talk to ourselves on occasion tend to be better decision makers.
I'm talking to myself right now.
Audience is that small, huh?
Yep,
it is. Well,
I am our best fan, and I really stink it. I hate the show.
That's why we had you call us, is just so there was someone else involved here. But
what?
I'm glad it could help.
Well, what happened in this case? I mean, what makes you think that his First and Second Amendment, and maybe Fourth Amendment rights were violated?
Well, the First Amendment part is freedom of expression. And there is a recognition that you can find very easily by reading a line of cases from the U.S. Supreme Court about symbolic speech. And the theory there is sometimes people do things other than literally speaking in order to express an opinion or a position. And there is some precedent for the idea that the open carry of a gun is speech. It's meant to enhance public awareness of an important political and legal issue, so therefore it qualifies as symbolic speech.
All right, so how did the officer squash that right? How did he violate, let's say, the First Amendment, and then we'll take the Second and the Fourth?
Well, they all kind of go together because, of course, the Second Amendment, which applies to the right to keep and bear arms, and that phrase is in actually both the U.S. Constitution in the Second Amendment and in Michigan's Constitution in Article 1, Section 6. Both use that same phrase, keep and bear arms. Bear means to carry. So he's got a Michigan constitutional right and a U.S. constitutional right to carry that gun. And that carrying of the gun is protected by the Second Amendment specifically, but it also, in this case, constitutes the First Amendment, which is that symbolic speech.
Does Michigan have any kind of First Amendment type wording?
Michigan also has a freedom of speech provision in the Michigan Constitution. Yeah, absolutely. Now, this case that we're talking about, that people may be reading about, because there's been a fair amount of press coverage already.
It made national news.
Yeah, I heard the Blaze picked it up.
Yep.
In fact, we've had some communication with some folks at some of the national outlets about maybe doing similar discussions. Of course, this is the first and best with you guys.
Right, at odds.
We may be doing this moving forward in some larger
We had you first.
venues.
You know you're not being paid for this, right?
Right.
I'm only too painfully aware of that.
I might buy you lunch sometime, but that's it.
Fair enough.
All right.
But the case is actually in federal court because it is a civil rights case.
Right.
And there's a statute at the federal level called Section 1983, and there are a couple other sections that follow. And so actually we usually talk about it in our law offices. We say et sec, which is short for et sequitur, which is Latin for and following. So there's this package of statutes essentially, but the main one is Section 1983. And that's the part of the federal statutes, the law, that says that if your civil rights are violated by a local unit of government, that's a cause of action, meaning you can take that case to the federal court. So that's how we're in federal court on this case that happened in Michigan.
What? Well, I'm going to ask you to speculate, but I mean, do you think the federal courts will move forward with this? I think they would almost have to. I mean, there's pretty good evidence for First, Second, and Fourth Amendment violations.
Well, we're in the early stages. It's a civil case. It's not a criminal case, so
Right.
it's literally a lawsuit.
But I mean,
and we're in the early stages, and so far so good.
Okay, but this goes before a federal judge. Then he looks at that and sees if there's merit. Then he can either say, yes, it's going to go forward, or he can throw it out. Is that the case?
Well, it's always possible.
Okay.
Whether you're in state court or federal court in a civil suit, either side, and usually you'd be talking about the defendant, of course, but there can be a motion for what's called summary disposition, and that means to dispose of the case summarily at an early stage, and I have no doubt that we're going to face some of those motions early on here. We haven't had any filed yet.
Yeah, the city will fight this tooth and nail. I've had dealings with them long time ago, and I was actually called a terrorist by one of their city attorneys because I wanted them to remove their unlawful no firearms sign in their police department. And they said, what do you want to do? Go in there and kill all the police officers? You're just a terrorist.
Because the sign stopped you from doing that.
Right.
I was just going to say that because the sign really would stop somebody who wanted to do that. Yeah.
So I'm looking at this with great delight. I mean, Grand Rapids is one of the biggest cities in the state of Michigan. They think their poop doesn't stink. You can't touch them, which is really sad because Kent County in Grand Rapids tends to be fairly conservative, and you would think they would be pro-gun, but Kent County has given problems to going back to the concealed carry law, and a lot of hanky-panky they were doing that, trying to deny concealed carry even after the Shell issue. So Kent County has a really bad reputation for gun rights.
Well, yeah. In fact, Kent County was sued by a group, including the Michigan Coalition of Responsible Gun Owners, just a few years ago, because the county gun board was violating state law. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to paint with a broad brush, and we just take the cases where we find them. And as far as being pro-gun or anti-gun, as far as I'm concerned, that's purely a matter of logic. And some folks lack it.
Well, yeah, I know. And I'm going to say they're anti-gun, including their mayor, who has an unenforceable ordinance on their city books that says you cannot carry a gun in public. As a matter of fact, there was a newspaper article today where people were commenting about that ordinance. And because of state preemption, they really can't enforce that ordinance on the books. And Michigan Open Carry, I know, has talked to them in meetings, and the mayor has come out and says, I don't care. If people read that and don't carry their guns, I want it as a de facto gun control law. So they're well aware of violating Second Amendment rights, and in my opinion only, there's libel and all that stuff, but I think they have been basically told to harass open carriers to try to chill them from open carrying in the city of Grand Rapids. And this is part of that, and, they got caught.
Well, I can tell you we're going to develop more evidence as we go through the case. All we have figured out so far is that my client, Mr. Deffert, certainly was accosted and harassed and taken captive,
lectured,
and had his life threatened.
Lectured.
Say again?
Lectured. He was lectured.
Lectured. Well, certainly, yeah. I mean, that's the least of the infractions here. And as far as the rest, we certainly will be developing more evidence moving forward.
Steve Dulan on the line here. Brian mentioned state preemption, and I know you can look at the dash cam video and the audio, and your client did mention at one time, which I think was a mistake, that, well, I know Grand Rapids has an ordinance that says I can't do this, but it's illegal, all that. Do you think you'll have to establish that state preemption applies here? Is that something that's going to be key in this case, or is that just a given at this stage?
That's actually really well established at this point. That's what's known as well-settled law in my business, especially since the Capillary District Library case came down the way it did. My friend Dean Greenblatt did a great job with that case, and we've got very clear support for preemption by the courts since that case.
Right. Well, especially as it deals with municipally organized authorities, city authorities.
Certainly, right. That was clarified in that case, but it also reinforced the whole concept of preemption.
Well, I think preemption was established when Michigan Coalition of Gun Owners sued the city of Ferndale, that had a library.
Yeah, that was about the library down there. Exactly.
What is it about libraries? Anyways,
they're peaceful places, Brian.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no place for guns
nobody
in a library.
has any violence at all. No one's hurt in libraries. If you just Google library and crime, you'll see all kinds of things that come up where people are murdered and raped and destroyed in libraries. Well, I think we're gonna take a break. Can you stick around for another few minutes after the break?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, and we'll get back to you in about 3 minutes.
All right, adotshow.com.
Hang tight.
We'll
Thanks.
be right back.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-1892 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-1892 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-1892. That's 1-800-516-1892. Again, 1-800-516-1892.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom66.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom66.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom66.com. Go to freedom66.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom66.com.
Honestly, I don't feel great about my mom living alone. She's growing older and weaker every day. That's reality when you're in your 70s, but remaining independent is important to her, and I get that. That's why I chose Medical Guardian to ensure her safety. If she falls and can't reach the phone, if there's a fire, or if someone breaks in, she presses one button, help comes rushing, and I am contacted. Accidents and emergencies really do happen. I refuse to risk her safety, and I feel good about choosing Medical Guardian. After all, She's my mom.
Protect your parent and give yourself peace of mind. Call 800-325-1089 for a free brochure. Medical Guardian has no activation fees, equipment costs, or long-term contracts. Be one of the first 50 callers to find out how you can get a free month of service. That's Medical Guardian at 800-325-1089. Ask how you can get a free month of service. 800-325-1089. That's 800-325-1089.
With Nate and Brian. And may you be in heaven a half an hour before the devil knows you're dead.
Ah, that's true. An old Irish sentiment.
It is true, but once again, and I want to point this out, and I like to humiliate you in front of the millions of listeners we have.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm used to it.
You didn't really wait for your time to do that sort of thing.
I missed the cue, didn't I?
Anyway, I think
Steve's still on the line, even though we
us,
told him that he should really bail.
We did.
He's still there.
He's still there?
He's still there. Now, I guess I want to talk a little bit about open carry in general. I know that attorneys have to advise people in the most conservative way possible. I'm familiar with you and your advice, and it's basically never leave the house, don't do anything, because whatever you do, something bad can happen.
Well, like every attorney, like you were saying. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like you never do that. So, I mean, so your thoughts?
What can we do? We want to have a little fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to open carry. Can I do that?
You can.
But you advise you shouldn't.
Well, I choose not to. And part of it, I'm sure, is occupationally related because I've got drawers full of file cabinets full of evidence, dash cam video and audio. And what's happened to a ton of my clients is they suddenly, while they're open carrying, find themselves surrounded by adrenalized 20-something-year-old police officers with fingers on triggers of loaded guns pointed at them. And frankly, I don't want to be in that situation, so I choose not to. Now, I know I've had this conversation with you guys before, and you have open carried many sort of man hours and in the public over the years and not had that happen to you, and that's great. But I choose to use my concealed license to conceal. It is absolutely lawful when you open carry. You don't need any special permit. You just have to be of age, and we still have a registration statute in Michigan, so the pistol has to be registered, and you have to be in a place where it's lawful, meaning you're not a trespasser and you're not on that list of places from the old 1930
places.
statute.
Yeah.
And as long as you follow those basic rules, open carry is absolutely lawful.
What's life without whimsy, though? And risk. I mean, come on. Also, Steve, I'm just so dang good looking and upstanding that no one really bothers me.
Except the one time when they did at Ponderosa.
Yeah, after the time they actually gang raped me, the police did, and beat me up.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Well,
Brian's
don't be sorry. It was a life experience. Yeah, we can talk off in the air. But, I agree. I mean, it's certainly not for the timid, but that's the idea, I think, of the open carry movement, is to make it so that police don't surround you and that the young cops don't pull their guns on you and that it becomes normalized. And I think that's a good thing.
Fair enough, and that's exactly what I think of as the First Amendment component of open carry, is this idea of educating the public and acclimating the public to the idea and the comfort level. I mean, you guys know, you mentioned earlier, I'm a veteran. I'm an old infantry sergeant, and I spent several years as a part-time volunteer trainer of soldiers in my civilian life. I am extremely comfortable with a lot of people around me having guns in their hands, including when they're strangers, because I have a comfort level with that. So I don't have any problem with open carry. I just choose not to do it, mainly because I've got a lot of stuff I got to get done in any given day, and I really just don't have time to have those conversations with folks.
Yeah, but obviously, though, you will you'll take the cases if Brian does get surrounded by police officers. I mean, you don't have some principle standing that's against open carry.
Oh, no.
You're not going to defend them. So
I'm going to answer that for Steve. I know.
I don't want to let
is
Brian give the wrong impression.
He's
here,
a strong supporter of the Second Amendment. He just prefers not to open carry, and that's fine.
Now a real serious question. You've been on Pierce Morgan's show. Which show?
Three times. Yeah.
Which show do you enjoy more? Well, you've been on that show more than this one.
Oh,
you've been
dang
on that
it.
show twice, so I guess that answers it. But
we got
which show is more enjoyable? Is it At Odds or Pierce Morgan's show?
Oh, this is far more fun, guys. It really is.
Yes,
yeah, I'm dealing with people who can think when I'm here.
Well, at least one other,
as opposed to just a mass of propaganda. The third time I was on Piers Morgan's show, they made me sit next to Deepak Chopra, of all people, who knows nothing about this subject.
Yeah.
And the level of manipulation and propaganda that was going on in that show was just through the roof.
Yeah, we're a no spin zone. Oh no, that's been taken.
That's Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah, we're the
and a lie.
Oh,
also when he says that.
And we're much more honest than that.
Right.
Basically,
Absolutely.
because we're amateurs and we're stupid, but that's okay. Well, we're running out of time. We got maybe a minute left, huh?
Yeah, sure.
You want to? Yeah, sure. We'll give it to you, Stephen. If they want to get a hold of you for any kind of legal advice, do you have a website?
Yes. In fact, the one that I always pitch first is our group. I'm on the board of the MCRGO, which is at mcrgo.org. And, if somebody really wants to get a hold of me, they can do it via that website. I also have one set up for the law practice at DulanLawOffices.com. It's DULAN. But either way, in fact, I also teach this class at Cooley Law School, so I can also be reached at DULANS at Cooley.edu. And either way, any of the above, if folks have questions, they should feel free to email, and you're not on the clock until you know you're on the clock.
And you'll let them know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what, you're up to like $20 an hour now? $20-$30 an hour?
That's expensive.
Well, someday.
Yeah. Someday you'll be that high. All right.
No, we definitely wish you and your client luck in the.
Yeah, we're going to follow it. The whole nation is following it.
I think so.
With a bated breath, but I think you'll. They'll either settle. I think they have to because I think they know they're wrong. They're kind of circling the wagons there, and there was an editorial by the Grand Rapids Press that came out and was basically saying, "Oh, those open carriers are just provoking, and this is no way to do it, and this is very bad, and our police officers are great and wonderful." So even the mayor has influenced the local press into trying to criminalize this poor guy, and he was doing nothing but walking down the street. So.
No, he really was just walking home. He wasn't. He's in his own neighborhood. He wasn't far from home. This is just an ordinary day for my client.
And he had no video recording, no recordings. All the recordings were done by the police, so it wasn't like he was baiting them, as so many people are saying. He just happened. And I'm just going to say that the police department has no excuse. They know that open carry is legal. This, I think, was calculated to try to pull, to bully and to stop people from doing this. I've talked to other people that have done this in Grand Rapids over the years, and basically they're bullies and thugs, and that's my opinion only. And we'll see what happens, and hopefully we can get some training for them, and they'll change their behavior a little bit. And I know that's part of your goal as well. It's not just money.
Absolutely. I share with you and with Mr. Deffert the belief that the Second Amendment and the right to keep and bear arms is a fundamental right. It is, in fact, commentators in the 1800s called it the Palladium of liberties. It's the protection of all the other liberties. It is the most central political right in our system.
The gold standard.
Agreed.
Yes.
All
right. Well, we want to thank you again.
Thanks, Stephen. Take care.
Guys.
Good luck with your case.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, I do think that we are just about out of time.
We really are.
We'll wrap that up. That was great to have him. A couple extra minutes, but I think that case is important, and
Absolutely.
I think not only will it get
at least to send a message,
will it get his client, the open carrier, the damages he deserves. It'll hopefully send a message, like you said, to every other law enforcement agency. Unfortunately, this isn't the first case, and it probably won't be the last, but it's a big one. It's getting national news.
I think it's
being
the third
picked up,
case that I'm aware of.
And he's going to get that $1 billion.
I don't think he'll get $1 billion.
Anyway, adoddshow.com, Facebook.com.
I predict something less than $1 billion.
/adoddshow, myparentsopencarry.com. See you next week.
All right, bye-bye.